All right, I'm back. We got, let's see, what is this? Storied Relics of Death's Certain Path. Sorry about that. The writing was a little bit wishy-washy, and I got lost there. Storied Relics of Death's Certain Path, double IPA with fresh hops. So this is a fresh hop double IPA, and you can kind of see the what looks like maybe like a waterfall of hops, but just bugs and stuff scattered throughout. No idea what they're going for on this one. This is from Burial Brewing, by the way, and it said, "The world is not our home, just a place we pass on through, and those who meander into this perspective shall forever inherit the gift of perpetual erudition." Sure. The farmers at Hophead Farms annually load a truck at midnight with freshly picked cones and head south to make this fine ale. Dry hopped with more than 25 pounds per barrel of wet Chinook and Cashmere hops. 8.2 right there. Alright, let's crack this bad boy. And after all that hyping up, let's see if it even is worth a damn. Burial is known to be pretty good, so hopefully this is going to be a pretty good one. Alright. Smells nice. Smells like candy. Alright, we got a kind of a darker orange today. Very nice nose on it, though. And that is pretty good. I think they've managed to have the malt sweetness blend perfectly with the fruity notes of the hops. There is a little bit of bitterness there. I wish there was a little bit more for a double IPA, but sometimes the malt presence kind of takes precedence over the hops when people make these double IPAs, but still very tasty. Alright, we are back with Jank Ass Tins Week, and we chose one today after the verdict of 10 lids being considered Jank Ass Tins. We roped in HSSC, Highland Springs Soap Company, Havana Vieja, and this is their vegan formula. So you can see the ingredients there. And nice side label. So this is actually a plastic tub with a tin lid, another 3-ounce tub, perfect size in my opinion. I'll give you a look. It's a darker soap, and this one is kind of like a sweet tobacco scent. Very, very nice scent. And I don't know why I went to smell it with the lid on, but that's the sort of jank you can expect during this video. Also, just for the sake of mentioning it, we got another candles lit shave, and we're using Moon Soap's Havana to create a little ambiance. I'll just put that on my windowsill over there, and let's get into it. I also should mention that we're using Hendrix Classics and Company's Mentholator, and this is the new batch that he sent me that he said should be a little bit more should melt into the lather a little bit better than the last one, because it's kind of a beeswax balm menthol additive, and because of that somewhat hard texture and format, if you just dump it into the bottom of your bowl or put some on the top of your shave brush and try incorporating it, what might end up happening is you just end up pushing it around rather than actually breaking it down and incorporating it. So he sent me a new batch, and he said this batch should emulsify a little bit easier. So we will see. We got the Thirsty Badger shaving bowl right here. all nicely lathered up with some beautiful suds. Kind of have a light brown, light tan type color. And since we're using a tobacco scent, I felt like it was the perfect time to bust out the Leaf Lads handle made by Kent Designs, sold by Moon Soaps. And we got an AP Shave Co. Cashmere synthetic knot on top. Now, I already added the menthol additive to my lather, and what I kind of probably sort of made a mistake, we shall see, was I bowl bloomed it while I was in the shower, and then when I came out of the shower, I tried adding the menthol additive into it afterwards. And so it was already kind of wet, and I just tried to smear it around in the bottom of the wet bowl. And it came off my finger, and I couldn't really see if it just fell off in one big glob or not. So I tried to smear it around with my finger, and I didn't really see like a big old blob of menthol anywhere. So I think it incorporated nicely, but that is what we are going to find out here in a moment, if there's any menthol chill to this whatsoever. He did inform me to kind of stick to the directions on this one. He said it was a good batch, a nice chilly batch. So if you don't know, the mentholator is supposed to just be a menthol additive, but what he seeks to be different about it is how highly concentrated it should be. And so what he recommends doing, and this is just the back of a spatula that he provides, he asks that you use the small end and basically use half the head of a matchstick, which would be like, I mean, if you could even see that. I mean, half the head of a matchstick is barely anything. I just can't do that. I put like 4 matchstick heads. Like, I put like maybe half, maybe like a quarter of a dime in this. So, in theory, this should be fucking cold. But as of right now, I'm only feeling like the bare minimum something ain't right feeling. Anyways, we will wait and see if it picks up. We're going to be using the Henckels Friodur, and I always got to show that beautiful spine work. Going to be using the Henckels Friodur right here, and this bad boy has the So Sharp David Gonzalez edge on it. So let's get into this. Very nice. Haven't used Highland Springs in a little while, but it's another one of those awesome products out of Canada. The Canadian artisans, much like the American artisans, are the truth when it comes to artisanal shaving products. I mean, they make some of my favorite stuff in wet shaving. And this Highland Springs vegan soap base is just another fine example of their high quality offerings. Very nice. Holy crap. Smooth, smooth, smooth. Very easy to make a lather with Highland Springs. Nice. The edge on this one, if you didn't see my Facebook Live that I did when I first tested this edge, I did it on the Lather and Blade Facebook group. So if you're not a member of the Lather and Blade Facebook group, you should check it out. A bunch of degenerate wannabe wet shavers, and a cool group of guys for sure. Guys and gals, to be exact. And the edge on this one, as I was getting to before I got sidetracked. I find it to be more on the smooth side than the toothy sharp side, but there is ever so slightly a bit of that sharpness that cuts through. Like it's not so smooth that it's like a butter knife or anything like that. There is just a little bit of that sharpness that shines through, creating a really enjoyable balance on the face feel. Definitely good shit. This would be an edge that I wouldn't mind having around for a long time, especially because I feel like it sort of fills a void in my collection at this time. I have some that are very smooth. I have some that are very like toothy sharp, sticky sharp, however you want to put it. And this one is kind of like if you were right in the middle, maybe just a little bit to the sharp side of middle. So very enjoyable. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the chill level at this point. At this point, I'm saying this is pretty fucking low chill level. Like, this would be like if you had like maybe like an aftershave balm that you bought at the supermarket, where like any innocent bystander that could accidentally grab it off the shelf thinking that it was a normal balm, but it actually had menthol. They got to play it safe, so it's a low level menthol. That is kind of like what I'm feeling right now. Low level menthol. Let's revisit. And you can kind of see, hopefully, I don't know if it's coming across, but there's a little chamfer right at the edge. That's where I scooped. I scooped that whole edge off. And what we're going to attempt to do here is scoop a little more off. So basically, I used about this much the first time. So we're going to double it up. Now, if you think about this, this is more than half a head of a matchstick. Like that's more than half a head of a matchstick. At least in my mind. Correct me if I'm wrong. But what I'm going to try to do is just put it like right in the base of the shaving bowl there. And kind of smash it into the bottom. And then just so I don't like lose any of this product, which might still have menthol on it, I'll just add it to the face. And I know this is kind of pushing it because maybe the video is going to go long, but I intended to have a mentholated shave. And so we are going to try to salvage a mentholated shave here. Funny enough, where I put this and kind of smeared it along the bottom, I'm immediately feeling some menthol. So there's no doubt that there is menthol. And perhaps it is concentrated. I just not exactly sure about this being like my favorite format of adding menthol. It does work. I just think he's exaggerating a little bit when it comes to how cold it is. Now I'm going to leave a little room for error just in case, because I'm not super familiar with this product yet, and I might somewhere along the road find a way to implement it much better. But when I put Sterling's Frost Drops, or when I put Barrister & Mann's Terrorade, or when I use the Bougie Chill Mill, the Menth Dealer, the salt and pepper shaker that I bought off Amazon, and I add menthol into my lather with any one of those formats, it's easier to apply than this. So the product would have to perform at a highly concentrated level for me to think, yeah, this is a good alternative to those other products, those other mentholated products. And I really do, like, I'm not trying to shit on this idea because I think it's pretty cool. The only thing is that I gotta be honest, like, I'm the menthol maestro. I'm gonna tell you my preferred method versus less preferred methods, you know what I mean? Alright, at this point, there is a noticeable pickup in the chill factor, and now we are at what I would consider medium. So now that we've used about like maybe a third of a dime, maybe a half of a dime's worth of the menthol additive, I think based on what the instructions say, my face should be fucking frozen. But I just think the instructions are a little bit conservative, and it's not really as cold or concentrated as it lets on. It does work. I just don't think it's as cold or concentrated as it lets on. The half the head of a matchstick thing is what I keep hanging up on because I just don't think it's that scary. Half the head of a matchstick is barely anything. It makes it seem like this is the real deal menthol additive. But that's just not been my experience. And that is one hell of a creamy, luxurious lather Highland Springs Soap Company. That is some good shit, and it is definitely providing a platform for me to knock down these whiskers. This edge is feeling buttery smooth, I'll tell you what. Sometimes on this side, with my non-dominant hand, and it doesn't really happen anywhere else but this sideburn, when I'm going against the grain, working up, I just don't think I'm as sure with my non-dominant hand as I am with my dominant hand, because I always seem to kind of like buff that first initial stroke. I always seem to buff it, or at least every now and then I'll buff it. Very nice. You guys know with the beard, I try to find that line. I kind of find it, define it, and then I shave after that. Very good stuff. Swoop. Alright, and 2 passes down. Looks like we had a nice flawless shave there. Go ahead and just give the razor the once over before I get some post shave going. Put that to the side, away from the water. Okay, so right now, the face maxed out at about a medium chill level. So it definitely contains menthol, and it definitely works. I might experiment with more ways to add this to my lather. I could only imagine this being a little bit more of a pain in the ass if you were a face latherer as opposed to a bowl latherer. Because with the bowl latherer, like before I even put in the soap, I could put in the menthol on the bottom of my bowl, so, you know, emulsify it with my body heat on my hands, smear it around, and then load my soap on top of it. Or vice versa, I could put my soap first and my menthol second. Or I can call an audible, like on that second pass right now. I just added some to the lather, and it worked. If you were a face latherer, you would have to like add it to the bulb of your knot, or smear it on the top of your tub of soap, and then load onto it, which might leave residual menthol on the top of your puck. I don't know. Maybe you could emulsify it, smear it directly on the face, and then lather over it. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird format for a menthol additive. I liked the idea of it being super concentrated. I just don't think it came out as intended. I don't think it's as concentrated as it needs to be to compete with the other menthol additives. And I do appreciate Pete from HSSC sending me this this other tub of the mentholator. I do appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be ungrateful, because I am grateful, and it will go to use. Now that I have 2 jars of it, maybe I'll give one away and keep one for myself, because they both work. But as it stands, using it about 5 times now. Not the first one, but the first one I've used 4 times, and then this one I've used once. So I think altogether, the product works. It's just not my favorite menthol additive. All right, talk about Jank Ass Tins. This is a plastic aftershave bottle. This is a Jank Ass aftershave right here. Jank Ass aftershave bottle. We want glass aftershave bottles, please. It does have a nice quality industry restrictor though, so that is a good thing. And the juice, the actual aftershave, is actually a really nice aftershave as well. Very, very soothing. And that was a nice shave. Holy crap. This one definitely went long, but we enjoyed ourselves, and that is what matters. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the shave. Still got time. If you haven't got in on Jank Ass Tins Week, you want to have some fun, hashtag Jank Ass Tins or hashtag Jank Tins Week, however you want to go about it. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.